Now your 19 First Alert forecast.
And good afternoon. I'm Dan DeRose with 19 News. As you can see, I'm joined by First Alert meteorologist Erica Page. Erica, how are you today?
You know, not bad. Busy in the weather department.
It is an interesting kind of day. This doesn't happen a lot where we kind of go from snow to cold rain, back to snow, but it is a First Alert weather day. Explain to our viewers again why we do First Alert weather days, why we put that designation on it.
Yeah, so we like to issue these when we know the weather is going to have an impact on any of your day-to-day activities. Certainly if we have weather alerts like these winter weather advisories that are issued, that's always a good excuse to put out one of those First Alert weather days. But even before this was issued, we knew today was just going to be kind of a messy setup. And a lot of that had to do with the way the track of this low pressure system was basically rolling across northeast Ohio. It put us in this window of opportunity where initially this morning we were talking about the snow. Then we've transitioned to a cold, kind of miserably wind-driven rain through most of today. And then we're going to transition back into snow as we head into tonight as the actual cold front rolls through. So to highlight where we have the winter weather advisories in place, because I do think this will be important, especially once we get closer to sunset and thereafter, we have those in place for Geauga as well as inland Ashtabula counties, because when you have some of that higher terrain, that temperature can cool off just a little bit faster. And so it can allow your road surface temperatures more specifically to cool off quicker. And so you can tend to get a little bit more of that snowfall accumulation in these zones, especially when we add in the lake effect component, because on top of just all the messy weather we've been dealing with today, we are going to transition towards a lake effect setup as we head into tonight. So here's kind of a broad timeline as we go through the next couple of hours. Right now, a lot of us are still dealing with the rain, and I'll show you radar here in just a moment. But as we slowly go through, I would even say the next 2 to 3 hours, temperatures are going to start falling closer to freezing. And so that's what's going to give you that transition from a rain-snow mix to then predominantly this evening, mostly just some snow showers that are around. And initially, it will be a widespread opportunity. However, think about where our temperatures have been most of today. A lot of us have been sitting mid to upper 30s. So a lot of this snow may melt on contact initially until that road temperature or until that surface temperature can get cold enough to allow for some accumulation. The big question at that point will be how widespread is that snow still? Because I think as we really get closer to more of us sitting at that freezing mark, we're going to miss out on the bulk of the moisture with it. And so really the best opportunity to see any real good snowfall accumulation out of this system, which even then may just be a couple of inches in some spots, that will be primarily in the form of some of that lake effect. But I do want to stress, especially with road temperatures being where they're at, kind of in that mid 30-degree range, but falling a little bit faster as we head into this evening, all those wet roadways, if they haven't been treated, or if they have been treated but the treatment's been washed away, it is going to get a little icy out there. So please, please, please be mindful of black ice, especially during the evening commute time. And then again, if we get some snow, that's obviously going to add some other issues with that as well. You can see some of the rain already starting to fill in. If I zoom this out, you'll notice we have up towards Detroit a little bit more of that snow. It's that very quick transition as that temperature starts to fall once the cold front comes in that we will notice as we essentially go through the rest of this afternoon. So yeah, a couple breaks in the activity still possible. If you're dry right now, take advantage of it because you're likely not going to stay that way as we get closer to the evening commute time. I do think temperatures by this point will be falling closer to the lower to middle 30s, and then you'll start to see that better opportunity for widespread snow showers. Temperatures at this point by 8, 9 o'clock tonight, well below freezing, and so that's when you have that better opportunity of seeing a little bit of that lake effect snow primarily into our primary snow belt. So that's why you only had a couple counties that were under that winter weather advisory officially, but we will have more opportunities to pick up on some lake effect snow with a northwest steering wind that basically sets up for tomorrow. Tomorrow's not a First Alert weather day, but again, we could see some light snowfall accumulation in addition to all the messy weather that we're essentially seeing tonight headed into your Thursday.
Erica, I can only imagine if we didn't have today's warm-up, and let's be honest, we have not had above freezing temperatures for a week and a half, maybe even 2 weeks. This could have been a really, really bad day around the area if we had been 30 degrees, 28 degrees all day.
Yeah, and it could have really dumped a decent bit of snow across northeast Ohio as well. The other thing I want to stress, because I know it's evident in my own neighborhood, you have a lot of those sidewalks that have been compacted with a lot of that snow, and they were probably icy already to begin with. Some of that may have melted as we've gone through the day today, just because of where our temperatures have been, kind of in that mid to upper 30-degree range. But a lot of that slush is going to quickly turn to ice as we head into tonight. So please be careful if you're going to be out and about walking, whether that's in your neighborhood. Maybe you have to walk because you have to take your dog out and do things like that. It could get pretty slick out there, especially with how quickly that temperature is going to fall just kind of in a matter of hours this evening. And if things are still wet, a lot of that moisture is going to start to freeze.
All right, we're going to take a quick break, and then Erica is going to show us what we can expect for the rest of the week. So we will be right back. And we are back. 19 First Alert meteorologist Erica Page is going to walk us through the 7-day. And Erica, I don't see a lot of above freezing temperatures on this 7-day.
No, it's really going to be a struggle here as we approach the middle part of the month to see any significant warm up. We'll have a couple of days where we have some breaks in some of the activity, and that'll be good because it does allow that temperature to recover a little bit more. Friday will be one of those days. Temperatures will be upper 20s. It'll be cold. It won't necessarily be super comfortable, but at least we won't be talking about another opportunity for snow like what we're going to see come Saturday as well as Sunday. We're still watching the weekend system because it is a clipper system, so it is going to have, I think, some opportunity for us to not only certainly dip that temperature significantly, but you're also going to have some pretty gusty winds with it as well. We're going to have to watch Sunday morning specifically for wind chill values that could be 0 or below. Probably not surprising to see that just with our air temperature during the afternoon, likely mid to upper teens at best. And with that will come another opportunity for some lake effect snow Sunday. We're watching a system snow that may come through on Saturday, but we're still working out where exactly that system will track, which will have a huge impact on how much snow we're talking. So we're not going to get into too many details with snowfall amounts with that. Just know that if we get some decent snow here across northeast Ohio, Saturday night headed into early Sunday, probably going to be that time frame that we'll be watching. Then early this next week, high pressure sets in, so it generally helps to kind of build in a little bit more of that heat back to the region. And there are some indications that by the middle part of this next week, we may get a little bit of a warm up. You'll see daytime highs Wednesday back into the upper 30s to near 40. It does come with another opportunity for some rain for us, but right now that looks to be a window. I would say Tuesday to about Thursday as the data stands right now, where temperatures have at least a decent opportunity of being freezing or above, but there are more indications that we may once again get another bout of colder air by the end of next week and into the weekend. So I wouldn't necessarily get overly optimistic that we're done with these kind of really cold Arctic bouts of air. There may be more on the way. Certainly, we're just at the beginning of the winter season, but it's at least some hope that we have on the horizon for some warmer temperatures.
So I shouldn't get out my barbecue grill for middle of next week? No.
Nah, I probably wouldn't.
Not quite yet. 19 First Alert meteorologist Eric Page, thanks for updating us. We'll see you at 3 o'clock.
Sounds good. See ya.
All right, take care. We do have 3.5 hours of news and First Alert weather starting at 3 o'clock on Channel 19. And I love when our meteorologists say the best forecast is the next forecast. And when we have developing weather like we do today, tune in at 3 o'clock. Watch what has changed. When is that cold front coming through? When is today's rain going to be changing to ice and snow? Because it could be a very messy evening commute. So make sure you tune in to 19 News. We'll also obviously have traffic if there are traffic problems throughout Northeast Ohio. So tune in at 3 o'clock to Channel 19. Until then, I'm Dan DeRosa with 19 News. Have a good afternoon.